Good afternoon, dear students, dear colleagues, dear audience, dear everyone who is watching us. At the beginning, allow me to introduce my colleagues in the studio. Miss Ula Al-Mouai, English Language Supervisor, Tartus Directorate. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
And Mr. Fadil Al-Aboud, English Language Teacher, Aleppo Directorate. And me, Abdul Majid Ogorli, Senior Supervisor and Coordinator of English Language in the Ministry of Education in Syria. Our seminar for today is going to be Unit 3 for Grade 9 students. At the beginning, Miss Ula is going to talk about the unit plan.
Okay, now in this lesson, we have a plan which is going to start with listening. With listening, we're going to listen to two people and see what they have to say and comment on their details.
Steve and Lisa.
Yeah, exactly. In speaking, we have some questions to discuss. Reading for just and reading for detailed understanding. We have vocabulary which is related to the text, and grammar is going to talk about the future with going to and will. With pronunciation, we have short and long E. And in writing, we have a paragraph about one's life in 20 years' time.
Thank you.
Thank you
so much. As usual, we always start with the listening part.
Exactly.
And I always insist that the most important skill, especially in Syria, is listening. Because we lack this skill. When I say we, I mean myself and most of the people in Syria who are interested usually in reading and writing and neglect the listening and speaking skills. Yeah. So we always show something about listening, and we always say that listening usually happens many times so that the student can grab, understand the words, the correct pronunciation. Because if we don't understand what people are telling us, we will not be able to speak or to respond.
To express ourselves. Yeah.
And sometimes we can speak English through imitation. By listening something and imitating it, we can speak real English even if we don't know what we are speaking.
Yeah, but this is not what we want to do. This is like a parrot.
Yeah.
But you're right.
I add
something helpful.
It's
something helpful.
To improve our pronunciation,
yeah.
We need to listen a lot and then imitate what we listen to. Try to imitate the accent so that we speak like native speakers.
To master the languages.
We have two audios for today, one by Steve, and we are going to ask questions about it. And then we have an audio about Lisa. Again, we're going to talk. We're going to listen the first time for the gist, and then we listen a second time for the detailed information.
Okay.
We are going to start the audio, and everyone is going to be silent while listening.
Steve, I think a lot of things will change in the future. India will be the first largest economy in the world, replacing China. India will have many problems with its demographics. The world will also have a lot of problems with the pollution and the climate changing. We will need to find other resources, because there will be more than 9 billion people on Earth.
Well, so it was about world changing.
Predictions
for the future. Now we have questions. We are going to answer them true or false. We are going to listen a second time, then we do
check
the questions.
Yeah.
Steve, I think a lot of things will change in the future. India will be the first largest economy in the world, replacing China. India will have many problems with its demographics. The world will also have a lot of problems with the pollution and the climate changing. We will need to find other resources, because there will be more than 9 billion people on Earth.
More than 9 billion people. We do number one, Mr. Fadil Al-Aboud.
Yeah. Put true or false next to the following. Number one, India will be the first largest economy in the world. So this sentence was true.
True. Number two,
Number
Miss Ola.
two, the world will also have a lot of problems with the pollution. Absolutely true.
True. Number three, Mr. Aboud.
There will be less than 9 billion people on Earth. Of course,
False.
false.
It's more than. More than.
More than it.
Now we are going to listen to Lisa. Let's listen together, then we do the questions. The questions are shown. Students can see them on the screen.
Lisa, our world will not be the same in the future. We will improve our technology and everybody will be able to speak at least 5 languages. People will live peacefully and different countries will not have nuclear weapons. We will be able to explore the space and to find other planets where people can live.
Nice.
We're going now to listen a second time to do the 3 exercises.
Lisa, our world will not be the same in the future. We will improve our technology and everybody will be able to speak at least 5 languages. People will live peacefully and different countries will not have nuclear weapons. We will be able to explore the space and to find other planets where people can live.
Now, number 1, Mr. Aboud.
Our world will be the same in the future. Of course, false.
False. Will not be the same. Number 2, Ms.
Number
Ola.
2, people will live peacefully. According to the text, yes,
True.
they're going to live
True.
peacefully.
Number 3, Mr. Aboud.
We will be able to explore the space and to find other planets. True.
True. Now, Ms. Ola is going to talk about the speaking part.
Okay.
Usually we mention many ways to have speaking, showing pictures,
Showing
giving
picture,
questions.
asking
and-
questions. Okay.
Floor is yours.
In this part, we have a question: work in pairs and ask and answer the following questions. Of course, we can divide students into pairs and give them the questions, give them time to discuss the questions with each other. Then we can listen to them. With the speaking, we encourage students to elicit the answer from the students, and whatever they say, it's about fluency and the ability of the students to express themselves, even if they make mistakes. For sometimes, it's okay. It's okay. Just
Yes.
give them the floor or the space to express themselves.
chance to
the
speak.
chance to speak. Exactly.
And here the teacher does not correct
No,
the
no. At this
mistakes.
point, let's say the idea is more important than grammar. Let's say.
But while the teacher is monitoring after the conversation, she or he can give hints about the mistakes
Exactly.
without mentioning who made the mistakes.
She can
In
repeat
order-
the correct answer without saying that your answer was wrong and this is the correction. So we can say the correction just by saying it.
So he can say or she can say, for example, somebody said this,
Said this.
it must have been like this.
In order not to demotivate them.
Yes. Usually in the new way of education, never tell a student that he is
He made a
not
mistake.
correct.
Yeah.
Let them be free, because if you say no or not correct to a student, in the future they will be shy
Exactly.
to say any word.
We need to break the ice
Yes.
to
Yeah,
make
and-
them able to speak.
And they will worry more about making mistakes in the future.
Of course, they will think before speaking, and this is the first mistake,
Yeah.
to think before speaking. They need
Reading now.
to- Okay.
Reading. Read the following text, then do the tasks below. Life in the future. We have a text. Who would like to read?
Yeah, I will do it.
Okay,
If
Mr.
you don't
Abu.
mind.
Of course not.
Life in the future will be very different. Futurologists predict that life will probably be very different in all the fields of activities, from entertainment to technology. Some people have imagined that life in the future would be so easy and relaxing, while others have seen that it would be worse and more difficult. I think that in the future, we will have a more comfortable life. This will be obvious in all aspects of life. First,
As for education,
as for education, people will have better education because of technology. E-books will replace traditional books. Robots will replace teachers. and students will not have to go to schools every day as they will study at home through online teaching. So even absent students will learn. Second, health will improve. Technology will also play a very important role in that. New medicines will help people get better. Robots will help doctors and sometimes replace them. Add to that, scientists and researchers are going to find cure to many diseases like AIDS and cancer. So people will live longer. Third, housing problems will end. People will build houses everywhere, so everyone will have a place to live in. Fourth, hunger will stop all over the world. People will grow new types of crops everywhere, even on the roofs of buildings. Fifth and last, world peace is going to spread because of all the previous aspects. The world will have nothing to fight for. Everyone will have education, health, home, and food. So everyone will be happier and love will be everywhere.
We hope. We hope so.
It's very
We hope so.
optimistic.
Yeah, a very optimistic text. We hope.
We hope.
We have keywords, Ms.
Okay.
Ola, if you
Okay,
talk about
the
them.
first one is futurologist, someone who forecasts the future based on existing conditions. So we predict based on something evidence, let's say.
Yes.
This is the scientist who does that is a futurologist.
Predict to know the future.
Exactly. Predict is to say that something will happen in the future. Aspects, areas or fields. Replace, take the place of. Improve, making something better. And crops, plants grown by farmers as food.
Yes. Now we have a question to match between the words and the meanings.
Meanings of the words.
Mr. Fadil Aboud,
Yeah, the first word is obvious. And the
obvious,
yeah.
goes with
it is with B, clear.
clear. Number 2, Ms. Ola,
Absent, number D, letter D, it's not present.
not present. Number 3,
Peace with
Peace.
the opposite of war.
peace is the opposite of war, and traditional, Ms. Ola.
Traditional, it's,
Oh, here it's written old.
yes.
Old.
Yeah.
But usually tradition goes back to the past,
Okay, well,
something people used to do in the past. It's a tradition. Now, students are going to choose between A, B, C, or D.
about the text.
About the text, yes, questions about the text. And usually in the exam, questions are going to be like this. We have 4 choices. Students need to choose one of these choices. Mr. Aboud, read number 1, please.
Yeah. In the coming years, life will A, change, B, the same, C, not be different, D, continue in the same way.
The answer is
The answer is A,
A,
change.
Number 2, Ms. Saula.
Number 2, technology will make education A, worse, B, better, C, more difficult, and D, complicated. Technology will make education better.
Better.
B.
Yes. Number 3,
Going,
Mr. Aboud.
thank you, sir. Going to school won't be necessary because A, e-books will replace traditional books, B, robots will replace teachers, C, students will study at school, D, students can learn online. The answer is D.
Students can learn online. It's not e-books to replace traditional books. It's
Yeah.
not robots will replace
These are
teachers.
things that are going to happen, but these are not the reason why people
Exactly.
don't need to go to school.
Number 4, Ms. Saula.
Number 4, because of technology, people's health will A, be unimportant, B, get worse, C, get better, and D, not be improved. It's C, get better.
Get there.
Number 5,
People will live longer in the future because A, many dangerous diseases will be cured, B, robots will help doctors, C, robots will replace doctors, D, many people
will
will
doctors.
become doctors. The answer is A,
Many dangerous diseases will be cured.
will be cured.
Okay, now number 6.
Number 6.
Because everyone will have education, health, home, and food. A. People will have many reasons to fight. B. World peace will spread. C. People will be sad. And D. Depression will be everywhere. Because of that, world peace will spread, and it's letter
Answer is
B.
B. Yes. Now we have another way to ask questions in the exam for grade 9 students, which is true or false. But this usually comes with the second text, which is
Not in one
parallel
text.
to the one from the book. But we can practice it so that in the exam we feel familiar with it. Miss Ola?
Okay, now decide if the following statements are true or false. 7. Now we continue counting. All people believe that life in the future will be better and more comfortable. Not all people, some people. So it's false.
It is false.
Of course, again,
false.
based on the text.
Yeah, okay. Letter 8.
If students don't go to schools, they will not learn. False. They can learn through online teaching.
Number 9.
Number 9, there won't be any housing problems in the future. That's correct, because there will be houses everywhere.
True. Number 10.
In the future, people will become hungry and won't find food to eat. False, because there will be food anywhere, even on the roofs of the buildings.
I don't know why the answer jumps up.
They are everywhere.
Something went wrong. Maybe because we sent the file from a mobile to a mobile, in the end to the flash card. Number 11.
11, people will live peacefully and happiness will be everywhere, and that's hopefully correct.
True.
True.
Now we come to an exercise about vocabulary. Usually in the exam, the vocabulary question is not going to be like this.
Multiple choices.
It's going to be
Choices.
4 vocabs, and the student needs to choose one.
The related one to
But
the sentence.
now we're doing it as it is in the book, but students need to know that in the exam, the same question will have 4 choices, 4 vocabs to choose one of them. Number 1, Mr. Aboud.
It is difficult to predict what the long-term effects of the accident will be.
So the first word is predict.
Predict.
Number 2,
Number
Miss
2, the
Oda.
weather towards the evening, so it improved.
Towards the evening. Number 3,
His father suffers from heart disease.
heart disease. Yes. Number 4, Miss
Number
Oda.
4, the obvious way of reducing pollution is to use cars less.
Number 5,
The country is at peace with its neighbors for the first time in years.
Miss Oda.
6, the new software package replaces the old one.
Yes. So we put the words exactly in their suitable
No changes
position.
needed.
Usually, students can try every word in all places, and in the end, from the context, from the meaning, they can decide which one is the best one. In the exam, this will be easier because in the exam they will have 3 words that don't fit and 1 suitable. So they will be able to choose this one, not like this. Here, it's a bit ambiguous because they don't have the options. They only have the words and they need to choose. Anyway, in the exam, it's going to be easier.
And the
God willing.
choices, are they all going to be from the same part of speech? So all nouns or verbs, or not necessary?
Not necessary, but the word must be suitable for the gap. It can be an adjective, it can be a verb, it can be a noun, anything.
So there's no difference here.
Yes. We move to the second text from the activity book, Ms. Saula, if you
Okay.
would like to read.
Yes, well, I would love to.
Living in
This one
space.
is about living in space. Someday people will live in space. By the end of this century, there will be permanent settlements that will allow people to lead a normal life in space. Hundreds of astronauts are going to work and live in the space station, which will take 10 years to build. In some ways, living on the moon will be easier than living on a space station, and it will be cheaper because people won't bring everything from the Earth by rockets. The space city will be like a gigantic glass wheel that will contain buildings, factories, and special meeting places. Inside it, people won't live differently from small towns on the Earth. It will have air so that inhabitants can breathe and they won't need to wear special space suits inside the buildings. Scientists also believe that they will obtain water from a large ice lake on the moon. People won't have to do housework because robots will do that for them. Food won't be a problem as settlers won't need to eat. Instead, they will take a pill 3 times a day. The first group of astronauts will live on the moon for 6 months, and then they will return to the Earth and another group will travel. This will be repeated until the first settlers can finish establishing the new city. Life on the moon will be just the beginning. We hope that they will use the knowledge we get there to plan expeditions to Mars, Mercury, and even Pluto.
Well, since I was a child, people used to talk about life in the future and food is going to be in capsules, something like that. In my opinion, this is very insane.
Nowadays, they eat usual food in space.
Yes, maybe in tubes, but they need to take the amount needed.
The normal food.
Because we have the bowels inside the body, they need to work properly, or else something functionally will be wrong. And people may die if they have a problem in the bowels. The evacuation system is very necessary. God created us for this.
Yeah.
But if we take food like a pill, this will stop this system from working.
Exactly.
And in the end, I think people will not live. They will die. I don't know why. They always keep talking about using pills, using pills. This is a silly text. I don't think. This is my opinion, of course.
Entirely.
In the future, because there is a system in the body.
Since maybe because we're talking about now teenagers and we are trying to give them hope for the future, so
Pills.
Pills.
We hope electricity comes by pills
Hopefully.
so that all students can see us now. Well, keywords, Mr. Aboud.
Yeah.
Settlements.
Settlement, a new place to live in for large groups. Rocket, a vehicle used for traveling or carrying astronauts into space.
Gigantic.
Gigantic, very big or huge. Obtain, get, expedition, an organized journey with a particular purpose.
With a particular purpose. Miss Ula,
okay, now
choose A, B, C, or D.
okay. Now number 1, living in space will be normal in the next century in permanent settlements for astronauts only or on all planets. Well, according to the text, it's letter B in permanent settlements.
Yes, letter B. Mr. Aboud.
Building the space station will last for 10 days, a week, 10 years, 6 months. According to the text, it's 10 years.
10 years, yes.
Okay, now number 3, the city in the space will look like a very small wheel, a huge wheel made of glass, eyeglasses, or a gigantic glass of water. So it's a huge wheel made of glass. It's a gigantic glass wheel.
A huge wheel made of glass. Number 4, Mr. Fadel Aboud.
People will get water from a huge glass of water, Earth by rockets, a large ice lake on the moon, rivers on other planets. The answer is C. From an
A
ice
large
lake.
ice lake on the moon.
And number 5, your favorite idea. As for food, people in space will have a problem, have 3 meals, cook or take pills, and again, based on the text, they're going to take pills.
I had this idea. I don't like. I have an appetite to taste food. This was going to be something not nice. Yeah, problem for me if it's just going to.
Something cause
so the
to be
tasting
entertained.
buds will stop working. You will not feel this amusement of having food, tasting the food.
It's a problem, yes.
I hate it if this is going to be.
Okay, why don't we
existed.
omit it next year?
Yeah, we will. We will, inshallah. Decide if the following statements are true or false. Again, whose turn?
I
Not a
think
problem.
it's yours.
Okay. Number 6, living in space station will be cheaper than living on the moon. No, living on the moon will be cheaper.
False.
False.
7, Mr. Fadel Aboud.
People will take everything from the Earth by rockets. False.
False.
They won't need to, yes.
They won't need to take it by rockets.
Number 8, there will be buildings, factories, and special meeting places in the space city. That's correct. True.
True.
Life in the space city will be similar to life on the Earth. It's true.
True.
And inside the buildings, people will have to wear special space suits. No, they don't need to. It's false.
Okay. We have a call.
Okay.
Maya from Tartus, your city. They like you, maybe. Hello, Maya.
Hello.
How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Welcome. What is your question, please?
My question is how to know when to choose will or going. I sometimes get confused.
Will and going to.
Will and going to. We are going to explain it after maybe 5 minutes. So please be with us till the end of the seminar, and we will explain everything about will and going to clearly. You will not be confused anymore. Okay?
Okay. Okay, I'm good, thank you.
Do you have another question?
No, thank you.
Thank you, Maya, for calling. Thank you so much. Number
11.
11, Mr. Aboud.
Establishing the new city will take 6 months. False. It will take 10 years.
Yes. Vocabulary. This is a vocabulary exercise like in the exam. We have 4 choices, and we are going to choose the best one that suits in the space, in the missing space.
Number 1.
Number 1.
It is to feel nervous before an exam. It's A, normal.
Normal.
It's B, snowy. It's C, reading, and D, sweet. Well, we hope it's sweet, but actually it's normal to feel nervous before an exam.
Yes. Number 2, Mr. Aboud.
Property in Homs is
Than property in Damascus.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Than property in Damascus. A, taller. B, hotter. C, cheaper. D, thinner. So the correct
answer
is clear. It's cheaper.
Cheaper.
It's not hotter. It's not weather.
So let's go and live in Homs.
Yes.
Yeah, let's go.
Do they have electricity?
No, I don't think so. Some places maybe we have this called rationing. I lost the word. Rationing.
Rationing.
We have a problem. We're not going to talk about because one person asked me to give this seminar when they have electricity. Actually, we can't fulfill this because when you have electricity, I will not have it. Other people will not. We are suffering. We are all suffering this. But luckily, the TV channel produces it online, on YouTube and on Facebook.
Yes.
And we, by ourselves, we convey the message and share it on Facebook so that when you have electricity, you can watch the seminar again on YouTube or even on Facebook.
So problem solved.
Yes, inshallah. We hope in the future everything is going. We pray to Allah, Almighty Allah, to improve everything. This is what we can as people in this seminar.
Hope for the best. Number 3.
Number 3.
Okay, doctors gave Hani oxygen to help him. A, drink. B, eat. C, smile. Or D, breathe. It's D, breathe with E, not breath.
Breath is the noun. Breathe is the verb. Yes, thank you so much, Miss Ola. Number 4, Mr. Aboud.
You will need to permission for the teacher, from the teacher, if you want to leave the class. You need to go, obtain, lose, drink. Of course, you want to obtain the permission from the teacher.
The permission, yes. Number 5.
Now, number 5, we can take pills for blood pressure. He has to take to control his blood pressure. A, pills. B, bills. C, hills. And D, nails. The answer is A, pills, and I like this one because many students, many teachers as well, confuse the letters B and P, and this will make disaster in this one. So pills, A.
Luckily, they don't take nails. Luckily.
No, they won't.
To
Number
control the blood
6.
pressure. Our goal is to a new research center in our city. Help, drop, establish, and spread. Of course, we are going to establish, and this vocabulary was taught to the students in the first lesson.
Establish a new research center in our city. Now we come to grammar. We're going to answer Maya's question. The grammar part is the how to distinguish between will and going to. Before we explain the first slide, I just want you to talk about the affirmative case of will and going to, the question case, and the negative case. And in the exam, they will have a question about making questions. So I want you to clarify this if you like.
Of course.
Miss Ola.
So to talk about the form of the future with will. To start with will, we use subject will, then verb 1,
Verb 0.
verb 0, with will and verb 0. In the negative, will not want with verb 0.
Actually, in the past, it was I shall, you will,
Not
he
anymore.
will, it will. Nowadays, they use will with
Will for
all
all the
pronouns in the affirmative case.
Yeah.
But in questions, it is still shall I and shall we, but will you, will he, will it,
Exactly.
will they.
Okay.
So in the exam, we need to know how to make a question using shall and will.
We invert.
If it is, I shall open the door, shall I open the door in the question?
Yeah.
What shall you open or what shall you do? So teachers are advised to teach their students how to make questions in the yes-no question way and how to change it to a WH question. In this case, they will be able to answer the making question part in the exam.
Easily, yes.
For going to, we use I am,
He
is, we
am,
are, then going to,
to.
verb 0.
Okay.
I am going to
Play football
play
tomorrow.
football. She is going to
Have
Travel
fun.
to London next year, for
travel
example.
to London. We are going to stay home.
Okay.
I don't think so.
About the negative, we add not.
After verb to be
Yes.
or after will or shall. Yes.
And with the question, we again invert. She is going to, is she going to, and then we can add the question word.
The question word.
If it is she is going to go to school with her sister. And in the exam, we have a line under
Her sister.
her sister.
Who?
We
Who is she
replace
going
her
to?
sister with who at the beginning, and we change it to a question. Is she going to go to school? Who is she going to go to school with? Now we come to the part of differentiating between the use of will and going to. Actually, both will and going to are used for prediction and for intention. But we can make this easier.
In different ways.
Mr. Aboud,
To express intention, we can, as you have just said, we can use will or be going to. But when we want to use going to for intentions, we are sure that we are doing the thing.
it's a plan.
Yeah, it's a plan.
For intention, if the decision to make something is made at the moment of speaking, we use will.
Yeah.
If it is
Before.
made before the time of speaking,
So it's
we
a
use
plan.
going to. Yeah, it's
it's
a
a plan.
planning. I will give an example.
Yeah.
The example is, if I'm hungry now, I say, oh, I'm hungry, I will make
A
a
sandwich.
sandwich. I decided now.
Yeah.
If I go to the kitchen to make the sandwich, someone
So you.
asks me there, what do you want to do? There, I'm going to talk about a decision I made
Before.
3 minutes ago. So I use going to, not will. I say I'm going to make a sandwich. This is for intention.
For prediction,
So if the decision is taken before the moment of speaking, we use going to, but I bought some tomatoes and cucumber. So we have a call. Judy or Susie? I couldn't get Judy. Judy from
Hello?
Tartus again. Hello, Judy.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How are you?
Fine.
Good. What is your question, Judy?
I want to ask about the vocabulary we have after each text.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have to memorize the meanings, and how do we have them in the exam?
Good. We will answer you. Do you have another question?
No.
Okay. Thank you, Judy, for being with us and for calling. Thank you. I will answer you. Everything in the exam depends on knowing the meaning of the words in the book. You are not going to be asked about what does this word mean, but you are going to have a sentence. One word is missing, one vocab is missing, and you need to choose one out of 4 vocabs, the suitable vocabulary that suits in the missing word. How can you choose? If you know the meaning of the 4 vocabs, you can know which one suits in this sentence. So your job, your duty is not to memorize, but to learn the meaning of the words.
Understand.
To understand. When you see the word, to know what it means. I don't mean what it means in Arabic, not necessarily to know the meaning in Arabic, but to know the meaning in English. For example, I'll make it clearer. When I say open the door, you need to know that open is to do like this, and the door is this rectangular shape that
in the wall.
stops you from going out of the room.
Translation
So
helps
without,
nothing.
without translating, you can know that this is a door, and open means this, and close means this. So not necessary to translate, but to know. If someone says, open the door, you go to the door and open it without translating. So you need to know the meaning of the words. You want it to be in Arabic as you like. It's up to you. You want it to be in English. You want to acquire it. It's up to you. It is the best. In the exam, if you understand what the text means, what the sentence means, you will be able easily to choose the exact word. Do you have anything to add?
No, that's
No,
it.
nothing.
Thank you.
Okay,
So understanding doesn't have to be memorizing, of course.
80% of getting the
Exam.
full mark in the 80% is knowing the vocabulary.
The vocabulary, exactly.
Then we have 20% knowing how to write and knowing about grammar,
Mechanism.
knowing about other things.
Maybe memorizing some information.
But usually we have a mistake. Students try to learn grammar without learning the meaning of the words. They come to the exam, they read the question, they don't
Get
know,
confused.
and they get confused. So that you don't be confused, learn the meaning of the words. If you learn every day
10
10
minutes.
10 words, from the morning till the afternoon, 10 words, it will be 300 words in a month. In 10 months, it will be 3,000. You need only 1,000 to live in Britain. So you don't need 3,000 words to live in Britain. If you want to study at university in Britain, you may need 3,000. But if you learn only 10 words every day, if 10 words is too much for you, learn 5 words. But in the end, it's going to be a sum up of good vocabulary, and exam will be very easy. 80% of exam questions can be answered by knowing the meaning of vocabulary.
Hopefully.
Yes, can you continue, Miss Ola?
With the next slide or
No, the same slide.
the same
I
slide?
bought some tomatoes and cucumber, so I'm going to make.
make
Why
salad.
is it I'm going? Because I decided,
I decided.
and I bought.
Tamam.
Now I'm going to make.
But if the decision is taken at the moment of speaking, No plan, so we use will. For example, the phone is ringing, I'll answer it. Like the example you have just mentioned, I'm hungry, I'll make a sandwich. Someone is knocking the door, I'll open the door. So this is a decision made at the moment of speaking, so we use a will.
So for the students, it will be very clear that the decision is made now. When I say the phone is ringing, it's now. And when I say I will answer, I decided right now. Somebody is knocking at the door. Now, I will open. I decided now. So it's going to be someone dropped a book. I will pick it up for you. So I decided now. How do I know? Because the book was dropped right now and I decide right now.
I didn't plan in advance.
I will give another example to Judy. If I'm wearing a suit, and I look at my car, I see it's dirty, I say I will wash my car. But without mentioning that it is taken now or not now. If you see me with all the clothes, with a bucket of water and a brush, it's clear that I decided before and I changed my clothes. So in this case I say I'm going to wash my car. Second slide, Ms. Fadil, for prediction.
For prediction, if you predict the future because there are some signs for it, you see something which makes you predict you is be going to. For example, we are standing in the street right now and we are looking out up to the sky and there are a lot of black clouds.
Dark clouds.
Black clouds or dark clouds. We can say that it is going to rain because we are predicting here, but we are depending on something existent, which is the black clouds.
I will give more examples just because I know a lot of students are confused about this. If I see, now we have the World Cup, right? If we see that a player passed the goalkeeper, we only have 3 meters between the player and the goal. We say he is going to score a goal,
yes.
Except if he is unlucky. but if he is a bit lucky, the goal is open, he is alone in front of the goal, 3 meters only the space is, so we see and we say he is going to score a goal. Someone is looking at his mobile and there is a hole in the street. He doesn't look at the hole. We see he is going to fall or tip over. So when we predict because we see something that makes us know what is going to happen, we use going to.
Proof.
When we think, if it is about the mind, when we think something is going to happen,
no evidence.
No evidence, it's will. I think every man will have a plane in the future.
This is my opinion.
Yeah. Sometimes both answers can suit. For example, you see somebody studying all the time, very hard. You can say, I think he will succeed or he is going to succeed. But in the exam, you will not have confusing questions.
Yeah, of course.
It's going to be very clear.
So
when you see, I think, I guess,
will,
I presume,
one day.
use will.
Yeah.
When you see evidence, evidence means something makes you predict, use going to.
yeah, can we say to the students that when we are sure, we use be going to. Where we are not sure about that something is going to happen, we use will. Because we use think.
We can say this, but you make me confused now. I'm making it easier. Yeah, thank you very much. When I said, when we see, I think, or I'm sure, or I guess something, when you are not very sure about something, it's in your mind, we use will. Number 3, we have extra usage of will. Ms. Ola.
Simple examples, like when you give an offer, I'll help you with these bags. So I see something, it can be like a decision made at the moment of speaking. Will you help me open the door? It's almost the same. To ask for or give information with will, what time will the play start? It will start in a few minutes, about the future. To give a promise, I promise I'll give you your money back tomorrow. we can use will, or to express strong will to do something, use will. The homework is difficult, but I will do it.
To express a strong will. Thank you so much. We come to pronunciation. Pronunciation is very important, and we will have an exam exercise at the end of the year about pronunciation. So during the year, we need to learn how to pronounce these words correctly. Nowadays, it is very easy because most, not all, most of the students have access to the internet.
They
If you just open any dictionary or even Google Translate, they have an icon for pronunciation. You just click on the pronunciation and it will pronounce the word correctly for you. Sometimes it is the best way to learn because not all people know, teachers or not teachers,
Maybe.
how to pronounce the word correctly, but in the dictionary it's correct, absolutely, so students can make sure of, if they are not sure if it is like this or like that, they can go back to a dictionary. For example, I may say, I bought tomatoes, and most of the teachers say tomatoes.
Tomatoes.
So which one is correct? The dictionary will tell them that tomatoes is British and tomatoes is American. Mr. Aboud.
Yeah, here in this exercise, we have two vowels. The first one, which is drawn like the letter E, but of course it is not A. Here we refer to it as the sound E. Okay? This is a short vowel. The next one is a long vowel, which is E. Okay, I will say them again. E. We can hear the sound in words like men, read, and met. We can also see it in words like led, set, fell, wet, hell, ten, and peck.
Thank you. Miss Ula is going to read the second part.
Okay, the second part is the vowel of the sound
E.
Like mean, read, meet, lead, seat, feel, wheat, heel, teen, peak. So
Yes.
they have to differentiate. For the first column, let's say, men, mean, read, read, met, meet. So
First
they can
time
see the
it is
difference.
short, and the second
Yes.
word is in the
They can
long
differentiate.
vowel.
In the exam, the question is going to be like this. You will have 4 words. Question is going to be, which word has the pronunciation of long E? And you will see, for example, men, read, met, and mean. And you need to choose mean. Or which word has the short vowel E? And you will see mean, read, meet, and read. So the student needs to choose read. This is short according to the question. So if the question says which one is short, choose the short one. You will have 3 long and 1 short. If the question is find the long one, you will find in the exam 3 short ones and 1 long, and you need to know it. There is no rule to learn how the word is pronounced, especially in English language. You need to learn how to pronounce it from the dictionary.
And they have to put in mind that it has nothing to do with the spelling.
Yes.
Some get confused and they think that it's about the spelling. It's not about how to write the word, it's the pronunciation, how to say it.
I always mention the 3 words T-O-M-B, B-O-M-B, and C-O-M-B. The first one is tomb, the second one is bomb, and the third one is comb. So same spelling, O-M-B for the 3 words, but every word is pronounced differently. Even British people don't know why.
Are confused.
Yeah,
in this matter.
but they know that it is pronounced like this. They call it crazy English
Crazy.
because it's no rule for how to pronounce. We need to learn how to pronounce them, and in the exam we need to choose which one is for the question mentioned. We move. We have the writing part. Of course, sorry, maybe this time I talked more than needed. I don't
No,
know.
they are all important, everything you have just said.
For the teachers, please, while giving lessons from the beginning of the year till now, if you didn't do it from the beginning, you can start now. Teach your students how to write sentences in every tense. Every day, one sentence. In a week, they will have written 7 sentences. When they can write 7 sentences, it is a composition, a paragraph. So try not to ask them to memorize a already written composition as it was used in the past.
Not working anymore this month.
Yes, because the exam now has a writing question not the same as in the book. So if the student knows how to write a sentence, they will be able to write
Their
a
composition easily.
We have now a sample of writing, and we have the connecting words.
Very important.
We need to teach the students how to use these connectors. Miss Ula,
Okay, to start with, for example, because we have a cause and a result. Why did you do that? Because of something.
Cause
So
and result,
why
yes.
are you tired? I'm tired because I've been working very hard. But we have something that is somehow the opposite. I don't like playing football, but I like to watch games, for example. This is somehow the opposite. Yes. We're going to have a result. I'm hungry, so I'm going to have a sandwich, for example.
you make me hungry
Yes. and almost the same, so we can
We
add
connect two similar
two
things.
similar things, exactly.
now. Happening
Even
together.
sentences or nouns.
Phrases
sometimes.
or nouns,
Because,
yes.
because some students are confused in this situation.
Mm-hmm.
They think that we use and only to join 2 sentences which are
No, of
the
course
same.
not.
Some of them have some difficulty to join nouns or verbs sometimes with and.
Usually we join 2 things that are similar. We don't join a noun and a verb.
No,
Yeah.
noun and a noun,
Usually.
adjective,
Noun
adjective.
and a noun, adjective and adjective, a sentence with a sentence like this. So we join. And this is important because in the exam, punctuation works. You need to use punctuation, connecting verbs in the exam so that you make a good composition. Of course, I can write a paragraph using just full sentences with a full stop at the end, starting a new sentence with a capital letter. For example, I woke up at 7 o'clock this morning, full stop. I had breakfast, full stop. I got dressed, full stop.
Sequence.
It's correct, but it would be better.
Spice
You will
things
take
up.
a better mark if you connect these sentences.
Together.
I woke up at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
After that, I washed my face. Then I had breakfast. After breakfast, I got dressed. Then I went to school.
The composition will
So
become more. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, please.
The composition in this case will be in a strong structure, not like counting sentences
Coherent.
after each other.
Okay. So let's do it. After that, if we still have time, we can give advice, a piece of advice to the students about writing. It's very important.
Yeah.
And I know that most of the students, a lot of students have difficulty in writing. The problem is they need to practice from the beginning,
Practicing, yes.
from now, if not the beginning, from now till exam time, how to write the words correctly and how to write sentences according to tenses. Miss Ula,
Okay, now this text is about my life in 20 years' time. In 20 years' time, I will be over 30 years old. I will be married. We will have 2 children. Here we have 2 similar sentences. So I will be married and we will have 2 children. I will have a good job. I will be an English teacher. Why? Because it's my favorite subject. We will have a nice house. Okay, this is something positive. But this nice house, it will not be very big. So almost something negative. So, but it will not
Contrasting,
contrasting exactly. it will not be very big. We will spend a lot of time playing with our children. I'm interested in music, and because I'm interested in music, I will have a wonderful music education. So I will have a wonderful music collection. We will only get our music from the internet. I will play traditional folk songs very well. Why? Because I'm learning them now.
Okay, time is up. At the end
Right on time.
of this seminar, I want to thank everyone who was watching us. We hope you got benefit from what we have presented. Allow me to thank Ms. Ula Al-Moui, English Language Supervisor, Tartus Directorate.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you
sir.
so much.
Thank you.
Mr. Fadel Aboud, English Language
honor.
Teacher,
It's my honor, sir.
Aleppo Directorate. And this is me, Abdul Majid Ogorli, Senior Supervisor and Coordinator of English Language in the Ministry of Education. We wish you good luck. See you in coming seminars. Bye-bye.